What's up, everyone? Today, we're going to look at some of the most insane discoveries ever made on planet Earth. I mean, some of this stuff sounds like it's straight out of a movie. We're talking about a giant fiery pit that has been burning for 50 years straight. 50 years! And that's just the first thing. You are not going to believe what else we found. We literally have a 2,000-year-old computer that scientists still can't fully explain. How is that even possible? What if we could go see these things in person? We don't just talk about it, we do it. We're going to take you on a virtual tour of the most mind-blowing, shocking, unbelievable finds in human history. We've got screaming mummies, ancient soup that's older than your entire family tree, and a literal doorway to another dimension. Well, basically. Before we jump in, hit that subscribe button, because you are not going to want to miss what's coming next. Are you ready? Because we're about to explore things that shouldn't even exist. Let's go. Alright, first up, I want you to picture this. Imagine a giant hole in the middle of the desert, wider than a football field. And it's been on fire non-stop since before your parents were probably even married. This isn't a sci-fi movie. This is a real place in Turkmenistan called the Darvaza gas crater. They literally call it the doorway to hell. When you see it, you get why. It's a massive, roaring inferno that lights up the entire night sky. Back in 1971, geologists were drilling for natural gas. They thought they hit a massive pocket, but the ground under the rig collapsed. It created this huge crater, and it started leaking poisonous methane gas. Scientists worried it would spread to nearby villages. So they came up with a simple plan. They lit it on fire. They figured it would burn off in weeks. Fast forward 50+ years, and it's still burning. They underestimated how much gas was down there. It's been a continuous raging fire for half a century. The sheer scale is mind-boggling. The crater is over 200 feet wide and 100 feet deep. At night, you can see the glow from miles away. It's a permanent fiery scar on the planet. People travel to the Karakum Desert to see it. It's an accidental tourist attraction. You can camp near the edge. It's terrifying and beautiful. Explorer George Kourounis rappelled inside in a heat-resistant suit, first to touch the bottom. From a scientific view, it's a disaster, and fascinating. It's been spewing tons of methane and carbon dioxide for decades, which is terrible for the environment. Yet they found bacteria living at the bottom. Life in the inferno. This could hint at life on other harsh planets. A natural lab for extreme life. Okay, that fire pit was insane, but get ready for this. What if I told you over 2,000 years ago, someone built a computer? Not a digital one like your phone, but a complex, mechanical, analog computer made of bronze gears. It sounds impossible, right? They didn't have the technology for that back then. Well, they did. And we have the proof. This is the Antikythera mechanism. One of the most mysterious and mind-blowing artifacts ever found. It rewrites what we thought we knew about the ancient world. In 1900, sponge divers explored a Roman-era shipwreck off Antikythera. They pulled up statues, pottery, jewelry, then found a corroded lump of bronze that looked like a rock. It sat in a museum for decades until a piece broke off, revealing intricate gears. That's when people started freaking out. Scientists spent the last century using X-rays, CT scans, and advanced imaging to crack it. It wasn't just a simple clock, it was a highly sophisticated astronomical calculator. Over 30 precision-engineered gears, all fitted in a wooden case the size of a shoebox. By turning a hand crank, you could predict the position of the sun, the moon, and the 5 known planets. It could even predict solar and lunar eclipses, down to the exact hour. Nothing like it appears again for over 1,000 years. So who built it? Maybe Archimedes, maybe astronomers from Rhodes. The craftsmanship is unbelievably precise. Tiny triangular teeth like a modern clock. It mapped the heavens and even tracked the Olympic Games. A complete guide to the Greek cosmos in one box. It challenges our timeline of progress. Proof of lost peaks of knowledge. Humbling and absolutely genius. Okay, we've seen a gateway to hell and an ancient computer. Now something more domestic. A 2,000-year-old pot of soup. Yes, you heard me right. Not just the pot, the soup itself, or what's left of it. It's like a time capsule that lets us understand what people were eating 2 millennia ago. A direct link to the dinner table of the past. This was found near Xi'an, China, the same area famous for the terracotta army, in a tomb likely belonging to a warrior or local Qin official. They uncovered a sealed bronze pot. When they opened it, they were stunned. It was still filled with liquid and bones. The seal prevented full evaporation. Over centuries, chemicals from the bronze turned the liquid green, but it was still liquid. Archaeologists were incredibly careful not to spill it. Imagine uncovering someone's 2,000-year-old lunch. By studying chemical residue and the bones, they reconstructed the recipe. A bone broth, likely chicken or another small fowl. Forensic science on ancient food. It confirms beliefs about food in the afterlife. They didn't just bury gold and jewels, they buried a hot meal for the journey. A very human detail. It's hard evidence for ancient cuisine. Ingredients, preparation, and what soldiers or landowners might have eaten. An everyday pot becomes a key to a lost civilization, not a crown or a monument. A pot of soup. History isn't just battles and rulers, it's the everyday things that connect us. The past is all around us, sometimes in the most unexpected places. Alright, I saved the most terrifying discovery for last. You need to prepare yourself for this one. There are mummies found with their faces frozen in a permanent, silent scream. Heads thrown back, jaws wide open, as if they died in absolute agony. These are the screaming mummies of Egypt, the stuff of nightmares. When first discovered in the late 1800s, they were a mystery. Unknown man lay in a plain coffin, strange for a royal sight, wrapped in ritually impure sheepskin, as if punished even in death. His expression is the most shocking. For decades, theories ranged from poison to being buried alive to unknown rituals. Modern DNA testing and CT scans finally gave us answers, as dramatic as the theories. He may be Prince Pentaware, son of Rameses III, tied to a harem conspiracy to assassinate the pharaoh and seize the throne. Scans show no external injuries. He may have been forced to take his own life, possibly by hanging or poison. The scream likely came from his head falling back and the jaw dropping before rigor mortis. As a conspirator, he wasn't given a proper royal burial. Even his name was left off to erase him from history. Another screaming mummy, a princess, died of a massive heart attack with severe atherosclerosis. Her posture was likely a death spasm locked in by pain. These discoveries replace supernatural horror with human stories. They weren't monsters. They were people who suffered. Science gives them identities back, and empathy, even as their faces remain deeply unsettling. Behind gold masks and grand pyramids were plots, illness, and suffering. The dark, painful side of history we can't ignore. The screaming mummies refuse to let us forget. So, what did you guys think? We went from a fiery pit burning for 50 years to a 2,000-year-old computer, a pot of soup older than empires, and mummies frozen in a scream. Each one is insane and changes how we think about the world, history, and technology. There are still so many mysteries left to solve. For me, the craziest is the Antikythera mechanism. The complexity, over 2,000 years ago, is mind-blowing. Genius lost to time. But I want to know what you think. Comment below which discovery shocked you the most. The doorway to hell, the ancient computer, the soup, or the screaming mummies? Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, destroy that subscribe button and hit the bell. We're always finding the craziest stuff on the planet to share with you. We have some huge videos planned that you are not going to want to miss. Check out part 2 for more wild discoveries. Thanks for watching. Follow Random Asp Facts for more.